Hi everybody, this is Tracy from Tracy's Art and Craft, and I'm here today to do a bit of a craft room tour. So before we get into it, I just want to leave a little disclaimer that this isn't an Instagram show house. This is real life craft room tour. Now I have tidied away behind myself, and I do every time I craft something, I tidy away. There are moments when I'm making like maybe 2 or 3 journals that the mess builds up around my desk. But I do always try to tidy it away because it is in my living room, so I do tidy it away the best I can. But there are times where it literally it spews everywhere. But today it is clean and tidy, but it's tidied in the way that I use the room. So I thought I'd give you a sort of real life craft room tour and just show you how I pull things out when I use them and where I store my things, how I store them, and give you a little bit of an idea, especially when I say I'm just reaching down into my black bag. I don't mean a rubbish bag. You're going to see that today. So let's get started. I'm just going to take you off of the camera hold. You will see bits of my living room and things like that. Sorry, my chair, I've just got to move it. So we're going to start on this wall. And as you can see, right up here, I have all my paintbrushes, and they do spew onto a new shelf because I just bought some new ones. I didn't need any more, but I needed those. I can't tell you why I needed those. They're just super pretty and I thought I had to have them. So next to those, I have dye inks just here. This one just here is actual writing ink. I'm trying calligraphy, my handwriting's rubbish, but I've got my spray inks and my spray glitters, which I make myself with mica spray, so they're sort of all up there. Coming down to this shelf, we have things like gesso and texture pastes here, and these two are gessos, one's black, one's clear. This one is gel medium, so these are all my art supplies just sort of here. And my pencil sharpener, because how cute is he? Look, you had to have one, but it's one of those mechanical wind ones, but you know, had to be done. It's cute. So then over here is where I keep my washi tapes, and all I do is I tie them onto ribbons and I pop them over my hook. And this is all study, this cork board here is for studying and to remind me of that. So, oh, I'm getting out of breath. I think it's because I'm rushing through this. I've got a little teacup here. I have a few of these teacups, but I just nicked this one to use, and it has all kinds of odds and ends. Sorry, I've took you off screen. This is to do jump rings. I highly recommend getting one of these. You pop it on your finger and it helps you open the jump ring. Oh, there we go. And I hope it helps you prise open the jump ring. They're really, really good. I seem to know everything that's on there, but to the rest of you guys it's going to look like a dumping ground, but I just know they're there. Behind that is some old painkillers for my back. I just leave them there in case I need them at any point. Then we are on to, these are all sort of little bits for journals. So here are those rings. Let's see if I can show you because I can't explain what they are. Those things that hold the dangles that I like to use for dangles. So there are those. And then in here, oh, opening up the wrong way, I've just got things like ball pins and kidney earrings. Is that going to focus? Come on. Focus. It's not going to focus, but you know, all them sorts of things. In here I've just got some little odds and ends, some sharp pokey bits to stop me poking myself, and this has my jump rings, and that was an old cigarette tin, and I painted over it with some gesso and just stamped on it and made it pretty. Then we have my flat back pearls. I use that for coffee dyeing. And we have some, what do they call them, stick pins. that I've been decorating up. Going down onto this shelf, so just next to this shelf, I have here, these are my wax seals, my wax seal beads. And all of my inks. And these are those tarnish polishers. I've got polishers and I've got glitter. 2 glitters, 2 polishers. That's all I need of them, so I don't buy any more because they last forever, those things. And, you know, you could buy every colour you wanted. The lighters are for over here, which I'll show you in just a second for the wax burner. But then we come up to here. I've got a little mini shelf just here. These shelves up here are my husband's. This shelf here is mine. And I have my embossing. These are just thumbtacks, nothing special. These are my embossing powders. In these little jars I have things like a few of the really fat jump rings and things like that. This little jar I have some circles in that I'm supposed to be using on my journals for policy closures, but I keep forgetting they're there. One distress spray. I got it, I loved it, but I don't ever use them, so I didn't buy any more. And all of my stickles, all just sort of stacked on that little mini shelf. Of course we've got Audrey Hepburn, because she's just absolutely beautiful, isn't she? Who doesn't love Audrey Hepburn? So, going down onto the side of my desk, paper and a printer. And this is that squeaky printer that I always say squeaks when I don't have it pushed back properly. So that is there. And my little bin is just down there too. We'll look down under there in a moment, if I can. Here we have, oops, oh I forgot those were there. I plan on painting these. Thought I'd paint them with my artworks. I was going to put it as part of the Enchanted sort of collection that I've been doing. So yeah, forgot those are there. Back down here. So these are the clusters. And I apologise for my cameraman skills, I have none. So yeah, please bear with me, I'm sorry if I'm making you feel seasick. So up here, the 2 jars. I have one jar here, this is for scrap little pieces of fabric. Really tiny pieces, and I turn those into clusters. And then we have here the jump rings. I keep them nearby because I always put charms and things on them and then just pop them onto paper clips, things like that. So I use them all the time. The little back pot I'm not using currently. This one is for my wax melts, my wax seals. These, yeah, this is how I go. Seriously, I am that clumsy. I do it all the time. Here I go, look. Putting it all back together. I literally do this all the time around my craft room. I knock everything flying. I'm so clumsy. So these are my alcohol pens, all stacked here. I don't need any more than that. That's all I use, and I don't use them very often. The drawers beneath it, they house all sorts of things. I've got some paper ruffles in there. I've got some split pins in there. Or brads, whatever, all sorts, yeah, just all sorts of little pieces. Here I have my charms, so that's all my charms, my jar of butterflies, my words, my jar of flowers. And then we're coming up to the desk, so this is what I use, so you can see my sofa and everything in the background, and that's my husband's working sort of lap desk when he works from home. So this is the stand that I use. It's really sturdy when it's not being poked about. And that's all I use because my camera has a really, really good light on it. My phone camera has a really good light on it, and that's what I usually use. But right now we're using the light from the room, just so I can show you around. Otherwise it will run out of battery. So this is where you see me working all the time on my mat. And then here we have stamps. I have all my paper clips in this jar, and all my little pots and jars are all found in charity shops. Underneath here I have my cabochons, is that what they're called? Cabochons and little glass bits and things I've made up. Little cute butterfly. There we go. And I have a few candles. Those are for when I'm working on my own. Sometimes I like to light a candle, have a cup of tea. That's my child's. I do keep getting stuff dumped on my desk. This was from Antonio Makes on YouTube. He made me this as part of a competition winner. So that is just a little coaster. And I do use it still all the time. It's there getting used. So I said I'd take you under my desk. Shall I show you beside it first? It's probably a good idea, isn't it? So let me just move my chair out. I'll show you what chair I use. I just use a dining room chair. That's it, just dining room chair. Underneath there, I'll show you in a minute, and I'll explain what's all under there. It's got the square cubby holes. This desk is an L shape, so I'll show you that in a minute. But next to the desk, we have my child's sword and my husband's weights. Like I say, it's a living home, you know. And I'm decorating, so I've got decorating cloths. And the 2 paints I use for my boys' room, that has just been completed, so I've got to get rid of those. But yeah, these, I need the cloths to stay out because I'm about to do the hallway. So I am decorating, everything's changing up. Except this craft room won't be changing just yet. So yeah, I have these drawers. Now they're really handy. Right in front of the drawers just down there, that's Shabby Dabby Doodah's cutouts. I have so many that they won't fit in the little envelopes. They've got to be big ones, so that just stays there. In these drawers are all different kinds of papers. So the top one is like scrap paper. This is my dry wipes that I'm drying. Scrap papers. I don't let it get any bigger than that drawer now because it went a bit crazy. And then here I have all my cutouts, all in this drawer in little envelopes. This one are various printed papers and things. Oh no, this one is old ephemera, vintage ephemera, things like that. Sorry, this one's printed papers. Just, I've got absolutely loads of drawers jam-packed full, and I've got to use them. And it goes down, there's hand-dyed papers, there's envelopes, and all the way down in the bottom one is brown paper, like packing paper. On top, we've got my glues, all here. These are my little things that I put on my book, and these are by a local girl. She wood burns for me, and she is, what's the name of her Etsy? Abby's Art or something. I'm gonna have to put that down in the description box because I always forget, but she's such a sweet girl. She makes these. She is connected to me, but she's local to me as well, so you know, I like to support local artists and things. This is my dumping ground. I literally have pins and paper clips and cotton thread and all sorts, and my needle for threading, really nice big needle for threading the books. So my dumping ground, you know, everyone needs a little dumping pot, you know, from time to time. So up here we've got my thing that I use, my little bit of foam that I use for shaping butterflies and flowers. And here we have all of my inking brushes. I have my pliers, some little paint sticks, my bone folders, which end up scattered everywhere sometimes. Next to me here I have my favourite cutting implements. So when I say that, I mean my favourite cutting knives, my favourite scissors. I do have even more. I've got a black pair that needs to go back here as well. And my ones that, the thinning shears that make wonderful stamps. And I also have the little shapers as well in that pot. So that's what that pot has. This one has some of my favourite silicone stamps just out ready for me to use. So those are all there ready to use. Don't know if you can see that one, pretty flower one. But yeah, they're all just sort of there ready for me to just pick up and go. And paracetamol, because I've constantly got headaches. And this is the little daubers, and I've put them into one of these glass pots here. And they just sit there. I do change the sponges from time to time when I want to change colours. But yeah, they're the colours I've been using recently. This looks orange on my camera, but that's actually pink. But yeah, you can't see them very well because the light's rubbish. So then we go on to my trolley. Now this trolley, I'm going to sit down for a second and show you this. It looks like madness, but it's not. It's very organised, but it doesn't look it. Let me pull it out a bit. So what we have here is we have a bunch of drawers. This top one here holds everything that I've got to complete. So I've been making a bunch of journaling cards. I've got some envelopes back there that need to be made. And these are all to be completed, everything in here. I also have in there a few die cuts that I've got to get out. So yeah, I just popped them in there one day and I just saw them today. So I've got to sort that. These are all the papers I'm currently using. My 12 by 12s. Over on that shelf you'll see I've got more, so I'll show you over there soon, but these are the ones I'm currently using, and some of my big envelopes for making, let me show you those envelopes for making my folios. So that's in there. In these drawers here I've got things like this one, buttons, lots and lots of buttons. This one you can't see very well, but there's flowers in there, paper flowers, and the one below that is ribbons. Here I have my book rings, and underneath that I have some paper bows and some wax seals that have already been sealed. So that's them. I keep these clips all over the place because I use them for holding my journal still, things like that. They're always sort of clipped onto things to hand. Next one down are all my cutters, so all my punches. And I've got a few boards right at the back there, if you can see. And there's a scoreboard, there's my envelope punch board, there's my paper trimmer there. So I keep those all in a line just there, stacked up nicely. And then these are all my punches. So I've got my crocodile corner punch. This one doesn't make rounded corners, this one makes sort of scalloped corner and the cut out corner. You know, the one that looks like it's been cut out. Yeah. So that's what that one does. That's not a corner one, rounder. But yeah, these are all my punches. Stay. Just there. And I have a couple of rulers. I have my tearing ruler and I have my long metal ruler just stuck into there. And then just below here, I have completed pockets, completed cards and tags. My crocodile 2 big bite. And here I have a couple of little items my daughter's making. This is just like roll of wallpaper border, but it's really pretty. So I plan on using that. Then if I turn this round, let me just turn it round for you guys. Here is a tub. I put a few scraps in here that I'm planning on using from papers that I'm using recently. I've got my wet wipes in there. And in here are some stick pins that I've decorated. I don't know if you can see that. Open up, come on. Sorry guys. There we go, so some stick pins that I've decorated there that I plan to use inside journals and things. So that's all that. Keep this turning, and of course I pull this trolley closer to me when I am crafting. Here I have some magnets. I use those just to hold things on to my trolley if I need to. So on this side you can see the boards now. I've got my boards here. Oh, and my stamping boards on here as well. And then we come down here, and of course you can see the backs of these things, but what I wanted to show you was down here I have all of my embossing folders as well. So they're all down here. And then on this side, you can see some hooks. This is my microphones. So I have some microphones in there for when my video fails and I try to make the microphones work and all that stuff. And all my sponges for inking. Now in here is a really good tip actually. Let me just open the case and get one out. If you take a square makeup sponge and cut it in half and then just staple through it, can you see I've put a staple through it like that to round it? That makes the perfect ink dauber. I'm not even lying. Like, before I had ink daubers, this is all I would use. This is amazing. The ink sponges that go with the daubers, they cost a bomb compared to a pack of makeup sponges. And these are those like, I don't know, sort of silicone-y. I don't know, they're like a sponge but it's coated in something, aren't they? You know, if you use foundation, you know. And so I get the packs of the square ones or round ones. I just cut them in half and fold them in half to make them more manageable. And it makes the perfect daubers. And look, you can see what colour you're using. It's there. So, yeah, good tip. Save the pennies. Use those. That's what I used to use for ages and ages and ages. So, yeah, I've still got them all in there because sometimes you want them. I've got my big makeup sponge in there as well, which I used for my main brown dauber because that holds a lot of ink. So when you run out of ink, all you've got to do is wet that dauber and you get more ink. So yeah, and these are just magnetic, these little hooks, and they just stick to the sides, and I got them off of eBay. And I've popped this on a paper clip, and that holds all sorts of things as well. Yeah, on one of those, you know, those paper clips. I can't really remember what they're called. I'm having one of them days. So yeah, that's my trolley, and that just turns around and stays there. But like I say, when I'm crafting, I can pull that right up close to me and yeah, move that around. So that's that area that we've done. Oh, and I've just knocked that down because we knock everything down. And now let's show you down here. I hope you guys aren't feeling sick of my terrible camera skills. I'm rubbish at this. So let's have a little look under here. This is going to get hard. I'm going to turn on my light for a little while, but it does eat up my battery. So, and it's not plugged in. So let's turn my light on for a bit so you can see. So underneath here, these are ephemera books that I'm making. This one's already made, and this holds my happiness and crafting design team projects in there. Then I have other ones that I'm about to make. This beautiful book here, which is a Victorian photo album. That's going to get made into an ephemera folder and things. So yeah, they are works in progress. I have my 2 notebooks just down here. And I try to take notes to remember to do things on my videos, but half the time I forget anyway to even look at the book. So over here, these are the more important things, just this end. This is again just another notebook. And I've been doing like pen swatches for my children on there, doing sort of with their pens. But in here is all of my things like these, like the little sticker pearls and things like that. So they're all in there. Next to that, I've got some of my newer stamps that I want to use and haven't yet got around to using. And then in here is all my stencils. So I just sort of keep them down there and dump them down there. Then under here are all my to-do journals. Journals I'm currently working on. So they're all on there. And I am actually actively working on all of these bar that bottom one there. It's an Alice in Wonderland one. and I've lost my flow with it. So I've got to have a look at it, see if I can pick up my flow. If not, that will get repurposed. I've got some Alice in Wonderland fabric there, so I want to make a second one anyway. So I'm going to see what I want to do with that when I finish all of this. Then we come up here. This is my die cutting machine. It's just a tiny little thing and I love it. I prefer it over, I used to have a big one like a Sizzix, and I prefer this over it. This is a Gemini Mini. There's my big Sizzix folder with all my die cuts in, and this is my cables extension lead just there, so I keep all my wires at this back end here away from things. My heat gun, my glue gun. Underneath that is all of my art paints, all of the acrylic ones, so that's all my acrylic supplies in that big box there. So I'm not pulling that out because that's just a nightmare waiting to happen. As you can see at the back there, I've got my old cotton mat. My children now use that, so they pull that out, put it on the kitchen table, and that's that. I'm just going to turn the light off and we will move over to my other areas. So just beside me you saw the big bookcase. So, oh, hang on one second. Just turn around the picture of my children. Oh my days. Right, there's always one picture you forget, isn't there? As you can see behind that picture I've got an iron. I use that for my papers as my paper iron. My beautiful spider plant, I love her. She's gorgeous. A bear my husband bought me. The bear just on the next shelf down, my sister made that for me. Bless her. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. So let's have a little closer look at this massive monstrosity. The two drawers at the bottom, they're family drawers. There's nothing in there of mine. But the rest of this whole bookshelf is all mine, including my study material. I'll let you have a little look at that as well. That's somewhere on there. If I can find it. I can't see it now. Anyway, then we move on to those drawers. And that is our gecko. There's my son's, my eldest son's. That's his gecko called Echo. Echo the gecko. And my boys have put up some Lego that they've made. That was my middle boy. That's my younger boy. They love Lego. And then we move over to here where I've got my art canvases all piling up. And those are all to be sealed, those ones. Sewing box for my sewing machine. I bring it in here every time I finish because my sewing machine's in the kitchen. And then all these boxes hold stuff. And here, down here, is the black bag that I talk about. Not a rubbish bag. I'll pull it out in a second, I'll show you. And that is the fabric container that I talk about, my big round fabrics that I'm using at the moment for my journals. And I pull out what I'm using at the moment, put it in that tub, use it, and then I put them away over there. And when I get onto new journals on different colour scheme, I get out more fabric and put it into there. So I'll show you that. That's my husband's books, but I do have some bits in there too. So yeah, let's get on to this bookshelf first. I am just going to stop and start you again so you don't get cut off. 1 second. I really must try to make this a bit quicker. I'm making this video go on forever and ever. Well, it's got a lot of stuff. Let's move her babies. We are growing these ones soon. These are going to get cut off and we're going to be growing these in a pot. So just beyond that, let's move those up to the top there. Just beyond that, I have all sorts of beads and things. I don't know if you can see back there, but all these are all beads except for this one. This one is more paper clips. And that one back there are my Sharpies. I've got a little Minnie Mouse poking up the back there too. But yeah, they're my Sharpies. Sorry if it keeps losing focus. I can't really control that. The phone's trying its hardest in this light, I think. So here I have book covers that I've already gutted. And they're all to be made into journals. And these are some finished, and these two are finished, and these are unfinished journals that I was playing with, trying to make. Yeah, didn't finish. Like this one was going to be like a Japanese stitched in one. I just didn't finish it. So yeah, I've got to get on with them really. These are all my finished journals. This is two levels back, if that makes sense. So I've got a bunch of books at the back and then a bunch of books at the front. I recommend getting one of these. Wreck This journal. I've been having so much fun in this. I got the little travel one, and this is just so much fun. I highly recommend getting that. Lots of books. Some I use, some I don't. This is, I don't actually use this one in my junk journals. This is something I read. So some are for reading, some are for using. It's all sort of mixed together, but I know. There's all my journals that I've made. These are some fabric ones that I've got to fill, but they're made. And some more books back there. There's some more made ones back there too. We come down to here. These are books that I've took the covers off, or they're sort of partially used. And I've put them in that container because I want to get them used up first. And then here we have some more books. I think all of these are what I use in my journals. Yeah, I think they are. This one here is really, really, really old. This one's turn of the 19th century, turn of the 20th century, 1900s. This was, so that's quite old. Yeah, I've got a few old ones there. Coming down into here, we have some made journals, a few books that are too big for the other bookshelves. These are my playing cards that I use. And then we come down to here and I've got all my papers on this side. These are all papers and 12 by 12s, A4 papers. I've got a few big books here. And then I've got a few more stacked up just back here with one really old big book right there, but you can't really see. But yeah, that's those. Now into these drawers. Oh my days. We have fabric galore. Look, fabric. Fabric. So these 4 are all fabric. This one is a scrapbook that I'm making for my son, for his girlfriend. I need to get what I'm doing. This one has got all of my napkins and wax papers in. So that's that one. And then down the bottom there, that middle one has all my glues in. Like literally, they are just dumped in there. Glues and tapes. Nothing special going on. This one has more stamps. So the whole big box of stamps. And then card making supplies in there. So that is those. Nothing interesting in them really. And then we come to here. I can't even remember what's in these. This used to go all the way up. I don't know if you can see those 2 holes in the wall there. You can definitely see one. There's another one just there. 1, 2. This used to go all the way up. And it used to be full. Just recently I've done a massive clear out and got rid of lots and lots of stuff. Because I just didn't use it. I never went into this case. But now I use it and it's full of things that I do use. So let's get looking in there. In here is a kind of selection of things. So this shouldn't be in here. I'm guessing my husband popped that in there and he sealed something for me. But this is my varnishes for my paints. So I have a gloss one and a matte one. And that goes in with my art supplies. I'll show you that in a moment. In here I have some of my old soap making things in that pink box, and my mica powders and dyes. So I make my own spray dyes. These are silicone molds. So I make all my own little jewellery to go on the cover. Oh, in there I have some essential oils as well, because I do like using essential oils. So yeah, that's just a real mixture of little bits and pieces that don't get used too often. So I put them all into one place. And then down here is where this should be, and I'm going to have to turn my light on for this one because it's quite dark. But that is my art supplies. It's got my watercolour pencils, my sketchbooks, my pastels, oil and soft, and it's got my watercolours in the back there. Here is the black bag that I talk about. So, this monstrosity. I've got my crochet hooks because I crochet. And I used to have loads and loads more crochet hooks, but I don't do crochet very often now. Cards and envelopes. Books I'm currently using in my current journal, so they're all there ready for me to use. Pens, like my gold and white pens and things. There's my favourite scissors. My small punch. These are absolutely gorgeous. These are nail decorations, but they look beautiful on journals. So there's those. Big stapler. And then in this pocket here are all my other scissors and things. I'm not going to get them out, but yeah. And then I have more paint sticks that I don't really use. So that's those. Under there are some die cuts and things that I've cut out, and I take that pot there to the sofa with me and die cut. Put them all in there, and when it's full I then sort it out. And of course my fabric. Whew. So now into this box. This one is what I call my happy mailbox. Although these bags won't be used for happy mail, I plan on doing something with them. I'm not sure what yet. But in here has all little bits and pieces that I gather, and I think, oh, that'd be nice for happy mail. That's quite low at the moment. I also put them in my journals and things. But it's quite low at the moment because I haven't been out and gotten things or seen things on my travels just yet. So in the next couple of weeks that will fill up and be ready to be used again. That sort of fills up and empties, that one. And all of my packing supplies are in there. So I pack my journals in the zippy bags. I then put them into a plastic bag and try to keep them from getting any water in there. And then I seal it with tape and pray and hope for the best. I do have some bubble wrap in there as well. If I'm really concerned, I will wrap in bubble wrap as well. But yeah, so the zippy bags are reusable. These are reusable. If you get these from me, you know when you need to strengthen a spine, if you use that stuff, the envelope stuff, that is so, so strong. Use that with a little bit of glue or double-sided tape. That won't rip. The spine will be so strong. So that stuff is really good to reuse, actually. So that's that. And then we come into here. And in here is more like birthday card toppers and things, you know, sort of sentiments and stuff like that. In the brown box I keep my receipts, and in that white box I keep more of those book plates of mine with my name on. So that's all of that in there, and I've got a couple of journal covers that I've made and I haven't continued on with. So I just leave them in there and I'll use them when I want to. And in here we have a hot mess. I've got some doilies and the rest of that is my embroidery. So I do embroidery, so do my children. See if I can show you one of mine and not my children's. So for instance, this was me just testing some stitches. And just playing around, but you can cut all those out and use them on journals and things. So yeah, that's just my slow stitching. Let's turn the light off and I'll take you back to the desk. Just 1 second. So that was my craft room. I hope you enjoyed having a little look around, and that's kind of how we sort of spread out our living room really. This half is mine, the other half is my husband's where he games, and obviously my children use my half too because some of them are crafty, and they use my husband's half too because some of them, well, all of them are gamers as well. So it's kind of, it's definitely a family room. We share it. It's just how we say we've halved it. Half mine, half my husband's. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed having a little look round and seeing how it's all sort of laid out and how I live and, you know, how I create. It's different for everybody though. Some people, they just have tons of Tupperware tubs and that works for them. I prefer shelves and everything to be out, so I can just grab and go because I'm that kind of person. So everything that I use every day needs to be out so I can grab and go, otherwise I just won't use it. Some people, they put away so that everything is sort of hidden and you can't see and it looks very neat and tidy. Some people like to be very organised and have things like their stamps out in different colours, whatever. You know, this is just how I work. Every single crafter and artist is different. Yeah, I think you saw also one of my art things on the easel. That's going to be a lion painting for my husband whenever I get round to doing that. So yeah, that is how I do my thing. So you know all the guff. Everything you need is down in the description box. All my digital artists that I use. Yeah, just sort of everything really. This one here is from Happiness and Crafting, their 100 Friday freebie, 100th Friday freebie. You get her Friday freebies on her Facebook if you want to go on there. Sorry, I'm really tired. It's really late at night. Yeah, so everything you need is done there. I do have memberships. You can get free digitals on there. So if you join the membership, you can get free digitals. If you join the higher one, you get Happy Mail as well, and I use all your money that you send me via that for the Happy Mail, or you can just leave me a donation, and that's all on the Buy Me a Coffee section. If you'd like to join my newsletter, on the 1st of every month you get a free digital that is only for newsletter receivers, and you don't get any other emails from me. Only on the 1st of the month. You won't get any other junk from me. Just make sure you check that spam folder because the 1st of this month has already come out. And yeah, do sign up for that if you'd like that. It's just my way of sending you guys a free digital. Hey, you don't even have to be subscribed to me. You just have to come across this channel and just sign up and you get some free digitals. You know, it's just me sending out a little bit of a gift out there to the world. So yeah, there's no selling on there. There's no... I just tell you a bit about what I'm up to this month and then I just send you a free digital. That is it. That is all there is. So yeah, do have a little look on there. What else do we have down there? I always forget things. I look back at my video and I'm like, oh, why didn't I talk about that? Ah, yes. If you would like to buy anything from me and you see me making it, please do message me. My email's down there. But if you look in the playlist that says journals for sale / flip throughs, if you look in that playlist, each journal that is available will say available, and I'm going to start doing a few more flip throughs to put some journals on there that I've already made. So do take a look through there. If it's sold, it will say solved. Solved? Oh my god. Yes, I'm having a bad brain day. And when I say bad brain day, for the new people, I do have a brain condition and sometimes it plays up and I say the weirdest things. If it says sold, it is sold. But if it says available, it's available. If it's reserved, then somebody has put their sort of name on it and said they're going to buy it. So yeah, that is everything. Definitely everything. So I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Take care everybody. Bye for now. Bye.